Hey crew, so last season when Void 3.0 launched, we covered so many different builds on each class and we had a blast doing it. Void 3.0 is still really good, and a lot of people would argue between Void and Solar and which one has been better so far, but we might cover that in a different video. I mean, man, just look how much damage our one single grenade can do, and yet it does so much more for the build. It's pretty crazy once we combine all the different elements into this one setup. As you can see in the gameplay, we are locked 15 power level under here and still just mow through enemies thanks to this build and how everything just flows and works so well together. And this new season, we have a new Void weapon that we can add to all the different Void builds that we have done, because there's some really unique rolls you can get on this weapon and I highly recommend you farm it. We can now have infinite Void overshields off every kill of every enemy that we destroy. These Void overshields give you, I believe, a 15% damage reduction, and you might think, well, that's not too crazy, right? But paired with the new resilience changes and having 100 resilience, that also affects our Void overshields and makes them that much stronger, that much more tankier. Even when I am 15 power level under here and a big yellow knight will smack me with his sword, it only takes about 70% of our shield. Normally, last season, that smack would leave us pretty much one shot, and we literally have infinite grenades that hit stronger than heavy weapons with this build, and we have unlimited of those thanks to Devour and Demo combined. We also have unlimited health with Devour and unlimited Void overshields, all while having volatile rounds up all the time on our Void weapons, which a lot of people thought wasn't possible, but we make it happen. The one thing Void does bring is volatile rounds, which on any Void weapon really makes them pack a punch and do a lot more damage overall, and then you pair that with the weakening effect that Void comes with for that 15% debuff, and when you get that weakening going with volatile rounds, it's just a GG's after that. Since the artifact that was focused on Void is now gone, we have to make a few changes since we don't have the volatile rounds mod anymore, but we can make those changes and make the overall build even better thanks to our new weapon this season, and this can be applied to any Void build that you do in the future. I'm also going to give you 4 different exotic choices with this build because that's how versatile it can be. Just keep in the back of your mind the whole time you're watching this and you're experimenting for yourself that we need one grenade kill to set everything in motion. So whatever exotic you feel that gives you the best chance in whatever difficult content you're doing or easy content, use whatever exotic you think is going to provide you with that one kill with a grenade that we need to make this happen. And of course, I'll give you my choice as well. There's a full build pic in the video for you to screenshot and a dim link towards the top of the description box if you'd like to use that as well. Okay, so let's go over the subclass first, and then we will go over the exotics and the weapon, and pay attention to everything because it really makes the build go when you get everything perfect. I was using Vortex Grenade. You can use whatever grenade you want. I still think Vortex Grenade is the best grenade on the Warlock. Scatter Grenade is really good if you're using Nothing Manacles, and then you can also be using Axiom Bolt. This pairs well with Controverse Holds or the way we have it set up, but I still like Vortex Grenade just a little bit better. For the aspects, we have Feed the Void, so defeat a target with a Void ability to activate Devour. This is going to be our grenade that we're going to use to start our entire chain of everything, and that's when I said towards the beginning of the video that just remember, one grenade kill starts everything, and it just triggers basically everything at once that's going to be happening within this build. So make sure to spec out to get that grenade back and get a kill with it. So defeat a target with a Void ability to activate Devour. While Devour is active, Final Blows restore health and extend Devour, so we get a full heal. Also, Devour here, feast on the energy of your defeated foes. Final Blows restore you to full health, grant grenade energy, and extend Devour. So we get a good chunk of grenade energy back from this. And then we also have Chaos Accelerant. We overcharge our grenade to make them do different things. A Vortex Grenade increases the size and the linger duration of Vortex Grenade. Axiom Bolt creates an extra Seeker. Scatter Grenades makes the submunitions track to enemies as well. For the fragments, 2 fragments are definitely needed here. This is Echo of Instability is the first one. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your Void weapons. So every time we get a kill with our grenade, we're activating volatile rounds here. We're activating Devour as well and full healing ourselves. So that's instantly what happens when we get that grenade kill. Next we have Echo of Undermining. Your Void grenades weaken targets. So this is that 15% debuff on everything that we're hitting our grenades with, which is just great. You always want to have this on. The third fragment is kind of up to you. This one can be a couple different things. I'm using Vortex Grenade, so of course I'm using Echo of Remnants. Your linger grenade effects of Vortex Grenade have increased duration, so on the field out longer, which is just great. That's where you see me literally half health the Lost Sector boss, right? That's because it's lasting so long with this and overcharging with Chaos Accelerant. And then for your stats over here, 100 Resilience, because that's going to make us tankier within that overshield and allow Devours to full heal and just us to tank that much more damage. and then 100 discipline, so we always have that grenade up as much as possible. Then the other stats can go wherever you want. I have 60 recovery, but with Devour, recovery means a lot less. This is Unforgiven. So Unforgiven is a new SMG this season. You can get it from the dungeon and just farm the dungeon over and over. You can get all the weapons on the easier mode of the dungeon. So just keep farming it to get this thing because it's absolutely awesome. It's the best Void SMG in my opinion now in the game by far, and that's because of the different roles it can get. In the first column, you want Demolitionist. This is going to feed that grenade energy, and on top of Devour, you literally need 3 or 4 kills with this weapon to get a grenade back. Regardless of what exotic you're using, regardless of anything else that's giving you a grenade regen, literally 3 to 4 kills if you get a kill with this thing with Demolitionist and Devour active. That's it, that's your grenade back. Second here is our next perk, Repulsor Brace. Defeating a Void debuff target grants an overshield. Now a Void debuff target is not just when we debuff from Echo of Undermining. Technically, right here, Echo of Instability of Volatile Rounds is a debuff. Volatile is a debuff. The target is afflicted with unstable Void energy and will explode upon taking additional damage. So when we proc Echo of Instability on our Void weapon and get a kill with this Void weapon, Repulsor Brace is proccing on every kill because they are a debuff target and we're getting that full Void overshield off that debuff target. That's how we can chain this over and over, and I kind of forgot that Volatile was a debuff, but now that I tested it and played around with it, it's absolutely awesome. Also in this column, you can get Adrenaline Junkie and you can get Golden Tricorn. Both are great for damage. So for your exotics, I was using VERITY'S BROWO in the gameplay. That's how my grenades were hitting so hard. And because I'm getting so many kills with my weapon here and feeding my grenades and the overshield, I might as well just beef up the grenades and make them that much stronger. So VERITY'S BROWO gives us the enhanced grenade recharge when we have death throws active. It also gives us our allies grenade energy when we throw a grenade and use it, and then also gives our grenade more damage. This lasts for 10 seconds. It can stack up to 5 times, and when you're on that 5 stacks and you hit something with that grenade, it's going to do a lot of damage. Your other options here are Nezarec Sin. You could plug this in, right, and use this in with the build. You could also go with Nothing Manacles or Controverse Hold. Just make sure you have Ashes Assets. Harmonic Siphon, so we get a double kill, we get an Orb of Power. This gives us super energy on grenade kills. And then Bountiful Wells, so every time that we get a grenade kill, we're going to spawn 2 wells. That's because on our gauntlets here, we have Elemental Ordnance, so when we defeat a target with a grenade, it's spawning a well, and we're doubling that up with Bountiful Wells, so 2 Void Wells are coming out. On our chest piece, we have Well of Tenacity. This is actually going to last about 8 to 9 seconds because of a different mod we're using, but this is a 50% damage reduction on top of our 100 Resilience, on top of our Overshield, on top of Full Heal Devour. You see where we're going with this. On our boots, we have Font of Might, so when we pick up that Void Well, we're getting a 25% weapon buff. That's on top of the volatile rounds from the weapon, right? So that's why our weapon is hitting pretty hard without adding in Adrenaline Junkie or Golden Tricone. And another reason why orbs are super important with this build is I threw on the artifact mod Radiant Orbs. Picking up an Orb of Power makes you radiant. This lasts for 10 seconds. It's our Radiant buff. It's a 25% weapon damage buff on top of Font of Might, right? And on top of volatile rounds. It also transfers to our primary and our heavy, which is just great. So every time you pick up that orb, you're doing another 25% damage to everything for 10 seconds, no matter what weapon you're using. Definitely not needed, but it's just a nice extra piece from this season. Elemental Time Dilation to make Font of Might and to make Well of Tenacity last longer. Font of Might goes closer to 15 seconds, while Tenacity goes closer to 10 seconds. A Utility Kickstart mod to get that class ability back a little bit quicker. And like I said earlier, 100 Resilience, 100 Discipline. Your primary and your heavy can be whatever you want. Something with Void works a little bit better if you do proc Volatile around. So I was using Heart Shadow quite a bit. I was using Commemoration. Great on an LMG. Volatile rounds on LMG is awesome. I was also using Threaded Needle. But if you need just strict DPS on a boss, this could be Wither Horde in your primary, and then this could be Storm Chaser in your heavy, right? To do your normal damage. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. This is my updated Void Warlock build for this season since we don't have the mods anymore. And I hope it helps some of you guys out, and definitely grind for Unforgiven. Unforgiven has a lot of things going for it as far as the best SMG Void slot. And I think for every Void build moving forward, I will be using this weapon, and I hope to get the other roles for it as well. Have a great rest of your guys' day, and thank you so much for watching.